I'm going to go ahead and get started. So real quick, before we all introduce ourselves, I just want to do a quick housekeeping items. One is that the Q&A button is there for you guys to respond to anything that we ask, or you guys can share or any thoughts you may have. We do have closed captioning option for you if that's what you need, and also the chat. It's more fun to share, so make sure when you send something to the chat, you can also share it with everyone. But without further ado, let's get started. So, welcome to Level Up Your Classroom with Gamification. My name is Michael Washington. I am account manager with TCI. I am a former high school teacher of 22 years in Sacramento, California area, and I'm so excited to have you guys all here. I'm just overjoyed about the amount of interest we have in our session. So I can't wait to get going. But first, I have two important people that are with me that I want them to also introduce themselves as well. So, Sam, can you and come up and yeah, there's my
Sure.
guy. Go ahead, Sam. Go ahead and introduce yourself, please,
Howdy,
sir.
folks. My name is Sam. I've been a classroom teacher for 10 years, and this is my first year at TCI. So I'm a sales consultant, and my jam was eighth grade. So hello and welcome.
Thanks, Sam. Hannah, you're up.
Hi, everyone. I'm also here at TCI as a sales consultant, first year here. I'm a former teacher and I taught middle school social studies and language arts. I'm here to help today with the chat.
All right. So, any questions you guys have, Sam and Hannah are going to help or answer for you. So, while I'm talking, if you guys see something, feel free to throw the question in the chat or into the Q&A, and Sam and Hannah got your back. They're going to make sure everything is answered there for you. All right. Oh man, I'm just still so excited how people are still coming in. We're almost to 150. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get going. So, welcome everybody. This is Level Up Your Classroom Gamification. But before we get started, I want to go ahead and share this my screen with you, or you guys can see my screen. Who remembers this game? Or who remembers? I see hands up, hands up. I do. What game is this? Oregon Trail. Now, I could be dating myself about how old I am when I played this game, and I'm sure everybody that I know there's different versions of Oregon Trail, but this version is the version that I remembered. And can somebody tell me what was the most memorable part about this game? The OG. Dying. Yes. This game was hard. Why was this game so hard? It was so hard. And the way that you died, I remember the way that I died all the time, dysentery. I remember coming home, asking my mom, "What's dysentery?" And I learned what it was, and I was kind of wish I didn't ask her after she told me. But this is the amazing part about Oregon Trail. We played this game so many years ago, and we can go back and we can remember things, but it taught us the difficulties of the Oregon Trail. And I have to say to you guys, try to live out your friend was kind of how far could you get? I have to say, I never made it to the Oregon Trail in this game, and it still impacts me as an adult. So I had to actually go to the end of the Oregon Trail myself in real life. So sometime years back, excuse the skinny jeans, they were cool back then, but I went to the actual end of the Oregon Trail out in Oregon City. So if anybody has here from Oregon City, shout out to you guys. But I had to go ahead and do it, Mike, because I the game haunts me to this day. There's another game that I also loved when I was in school. What about this game? Who remembers this game? Where in the world is? I thought Hannah and Sam were gonna come off chat and finish that for me, but it's Carmen San Diego. This game was so fun, and let me tell everybody, before there was Anthony Bourdain showing us around the world, there was Carmen San Diego. She was trying to catch Carmen, and Carmen, had all this the style and flair, trying to catch Carmen and showing us the world as doing so. These are fun ways of learning. These are some things that through games we'll never forget. Some of the things that we learned through some of these games. Yes, and it became a game, a cartoon, a game show on PBS. It was so awesome. But I'm curious to you guys. Besides Oregon Trail or Carmen San Diego, what other games that you learned, as a kid that you learned while playing? So in the chat, I'm just curious. Just throw in if you guys have any games that you like, oh, that game taught me this. Like, I remember Number Muncher, Picture Maker. I'm seeing some Speak and Spell, Chess. Chess is a good one. Takeoff. Mario teaches typing. Lemonade stand. Scrabble. Yes, Scrabble's a great one. There's and as you guys see there, Monopoly. I learned so much from Monopoly. That was one of my favorite ones. Yeah, real estate and economics. Yeah, there's so many ways to learn while having fun and playing Yahtzee. And so that is what we want you guys to do in your classrooms as well with TCI. We want to go ahead risk. Don't forget Battleship. There I saw Battleship come up. You guys are on it. That is what we want to do at TCI. We want to learn through play. And it's so often that we forget that is how students learn. Is that early on they're playing, but they're learning, whether it's counting games, games about the alphabet. You guys can see all these different board games that are there, strategy games like chess. Like there's so many different ways that, we learn through play. But then something happens. We get into school, and then all of a sudden, we kind of feel like, huh, learning can't be fun anymore. And I don't know why. Because, we grew up learning was fun. We learned cool songs and cool games and different things. And so we at TCI want to bring the fun back to learning. So today, we're going to focus on one of our 6 strategies, and that is our experiential exercise. And this strategy really is about just kind of having the student's experience of just engaging in fun and just playing and role playing, and when it comes to learning. So over the next, I guess 40 minutes or so that I have with you guys, we're going to go ahead and do so. So, you guys ready? Once again, once again, I'm going to show my age, but I have to do this. I just love that. I just have to do that. Those that bonus points for those that know what movie that's from. War Games, baby. That's right. So, let's play a game. And the game we're going to play is Tug of War. Now, we've all probably played Tug of War in our lives more than once, right? So, Tug of War is such an amazing lesson. Thank you, Kathy. Is a game that I like to really highlight in one of our gamifications in TCI. Now, I also when I play games, I like to get them into groups randomly and or kind of do things in a certain way. But at this game, you kind of want to strategically group students. So one of the ways that I do this, and it gets the students already thinking, when they walk into the class, I hand them a card. And each card is going to represent the group that they're in. So a spade would mean that you're in a blue group. A heart that means that you are in a red group, and diamonds means that you're going to be in the white group. So it's a really quick way to get everybody in groups. So once I got all the cards divided, and I got them divided into the 3 different teams, we start playing the game. I always believe that when you're going to say we're going to play a game, there's got to be a winner. And when there's a winner, there's a prize. And when, as a teacher, you don't have to always give the physical prize. A prize could be that you can get 5 minutes, free time in class. You can, do a lot of extra credit points or a free assignment. It could be a lot of different things. You don't always have to spend money or to do things, for prizes, but it just helps with the engagement and the excitement of the game. Now, time to test our strength. For this game, I have two groups. One group that's going to be in blue and one group that's in red. Now, the strategy of this game is that I usually put my strongest and biggest people in red, and I put my smaller size students in blue, and then the kind of the neutral size I put it in white. And they don't know that I'm doing this, but when I gave the cards out, that's what I was doing. I was kind of setting that up. So, and I'm going to say we're going to play tug of war. I'm gonna go ahead and say we're gonna play, and the white team stands by, and everybody's like on the blue team, like, oh no, we are gonna get demolished. Winners go to left first. There we go. Losers tax share. We're gonna get demolished right by this red team. And like this, like you see the blue team, totally just like they're like, oh man. And then the white team's like, yeah, you guys are gonna get beat pretty bad. But then what happens during this game? Start changing rules. I say, you know what? The blue team's going to receive a prize if they win, and but one member of the blue team is not going to receive a prize. And I'm like, and I'll point out a student. I'll make sure I'll pick a student that can handle it. I'm not going to pick the student that's going to crash out if they don't win a prize. But I say, hey, but everybody's getting a prize except one student. And the red team, you guys aren't getting a prize at all. Okay. So just understand that. And blue team, you guys are just going to sit there and watch. So once the game's about to begin, I'm going to say, are we ready to play? And I'm going to get them all excited. And then I say, hold on, another rule change. Hey, half of the red team, you guys got to leave the group. And now all of a sudden the blue team's like, hold on a second. We're in this now. Because the red teams, they're too far away. They can't join their team. So these numbers will be able to run to the rope once the game begins. But I like to make them go real, real, real far. Okay. So then, so you guys ready to go? And I make another rule change. I say, okay, well, now I'm going to make sure I put a strip of cloth in, and then I say to them, let's go ahead and say the red team's got to pull the flag 20 feet to win, and the blue team just has to stop them. That's it. You don't have to actually pull the flag at all. It's the red team that's got to pull the flag. All you got to do is stop them, and you got 30 seconds to do so. So now the blue team's like, okay, we don't. All we gotta do is just not let them pull, and they got half their team, across the blacktop that they're not gonna be able to get to us in time. We can do this. We got 30 seconds to hold on. So I'll say, okay, let's go, and then I say, oh no, you know what? We're gonna do another rule change. I say, hey, white team, why don't you guys join that blue team, and now you guys get to help them, and to help them out a little bit. And so we do all of this, and because they're kids, we definitely let them pull, we let them play, we let them kind of do all that. And you can actually change the rules and kind of the way that you want to do this, but it's just a really cool way to kind of talk about something that happened within history. And we go ahead and play this game, and they do it, and obviously the white and blue team is going to win. Yeah, this is it's definitely a favorite. But what do you think that we're teaching them in this game? Kathy, I know you know, but Federalist and Anti-Federalist, that's a good guess, Joshua. It is a good guess, and you're close. You're really close. But what we're teaching them is the Revolutionary War. Okay? This game represents what happened in the Revolutionary War. And all of those rule change represents something that happened. So the moving the red team being big people because the British Army was the big bullies and tough greatest army in the world at the time. We had the white team that was the French that was there to support. We had the half of the army that was the way away that had to come later, right? We had the fact that the Americans didn't have to necessarily pull the red team; they just had to not let the red team win. So, um, this all kind of helps, kind of let the students learn that, oh, okay, I understand what happened to me in this game. And you can always adjust this and make rules and affect that. But what happens is that students are then going to read about the Continental Army and the British Army, and they're going to actually now be able to compare kind of what they experience to what they're reading and then connect the two. And that's just one way that we can use this game to help them recall information and say, "Oh, I was on the red team. I was the British Army. I know how it felt to have to go run to help my team." Or I was the blue team. I knew how I felt like I wasn't going to win at first, but then the rules started changing, and then I felt like I could win. All these things are things that kind of happened in the Revolutionary War, and through the students reading it and using the ISNs, you can do that. I love that you guys are coming up with ideas, and that is the cool part about all this in TCI. Like, we're a template. But you guys can take this and you guys can run with this in so many different ways. Great idea. So, elements of a good game. You guys are giving me a perfect segue. So, if you guys want to change these things and kind of adopt this and kind of come up with different ways, well, what can I do? Like, what ways are for me to? How do I know it's a good game? So, every game you want strategy. There's got to be a little some strategy, some aspect to it, to that game. There's got to be a level of chance where people feel like that they do have a chance to win, and the design needs to be set up for the game to be successful. But when is the right time to play the game with your students? In chat, can you guys tell me when is the best time to actually play like a game with students? Intro to a unit, I see. That's a good time. Beginning before a lesson, anytime, right? Intro to like a lot of them, I'm seeing a lot of review. You guys are right. It is in the intro. It is in the review, and it is in at any time, a brain break. All these things can happen at any time. What's your goal of a game? When you guys play a game in your class, what would the goal be? Connection to the material, feeling engaged, learning, review, comprehension, application. All these things are amazing ways and definitely ways to get students engaged and to have that as your goal. Motivation, so much. Games can be there to help build relationships in your classroom. Games can be there for you to have a way of teaching and review content. Games can be there for all the different ways that you guys said to engage students. There's so many reasons, what goals that you can pull and you can get from it. But we have gamification in so many different areas within TCI. And so I want to go over some of the different ways that we do that outside of just our hands-on activities like you guys saw with Tug of War. We have what we call our lesson games. And these are review games that are every lesson will have. And these are games that students can, whether you're flying around in an airplane collecting like stamps or birds, you're answering questions about vocabulary, or that you're playing a crack the code game and you're answering questions about the Continental Army in as a review. And so there's some real simple tools that we do apply for you that gives a score and that are also in a gamification aspect. But one of our newest ways that I love that we kind of add gamification is our video activities. And this is for our secondary and grades. We have them, they're coming for K5 in our new fourth edition. So elementary teachers, we haven't forgot about you. We got some video activities coming. But these are some ways to engage students that through video to have students really interact with the lessons. These activities, you do the readings, you still read every part of the text, but you also are giving a task to do so. And so this activity here is what is going to be one that I'm going to go over and ask about trying to find a criminal that's been avoiding the law. So I'm going to show you guys what this looks like here. But like, for example, the video activity can be a drone quest where a drone is going over locations in the continent of Africa and learning more about all those different areas. Or it could be that you got stuck in an abandoned mall in the 80s and you're reading about the 80s and the lifestyle in the 80s and you got to answer questions to escape the mall. And you got these mall kind of ghosts to spirits that are kind of helping you throughout the things. So there's a lot of cool stuff. We could be an American spy and your data decode things that we do. So there's so many cool ways to do that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get into this quick video activity. here. And this is what calls taxes and taxation. Now, um, Lisa, good question. We currently don't have them for science, but I know we're also working on our second edition, and I believe that we're going to have those for science too once the second edition is out. But in our first edition, we do have a lot of resources, but we don't have the lesson games or the video activities yet for less for them. But we're working on it. And you know what? Here's what I will tell you guys. Listen, we at TCI, we hear you. Your voice matters. When you're in a TCI account, go ahead and to support, say, I need video activities for science. I need I need those. We have lesson games, but I need video activities for science. And so that we can help create those for you. Where do you access the video activities? Sam's got my man Sam's got you. He's going to show you guys or kind of show you where that is, but they're typically within that lesson plan, and we have some time I can show you as well. But I want to show you this video activity, and we're not going to go through it all, but I want to kind of give you the gist of what it is. This is about teaching students about taxes. Now, I don't know, in economics, do you guys remember learning about taxes? Because I don't. And I still don't know much about taxes or to have a great understanding of how it all works. But we're trying to help students kind of learn a little about that. So while we do this in a fun way. All right, Sam, I'm glad you're making sure the kids know it. But this is one of the fun ways that we try to teach taxes to our high school students. Take a look.
Al Capone was put behind bars on the prison island of Alcatraz off the shores of San Francisco because of taxes, not for the many other crimes that he committed. That's right. Federal agents were able to nail one of the most notorious gangsters of all time for income tax evasion. Capone, as head of the mob in Chicago, had been behind many criminal activities, including selling alcohol, or hooch as it was called, which was banned by the 18th Amendment to the Constitution. Capone was a ruthless killer, too. He was estimated to have been directly or indirectly responsible for the deaths of over 200 people. And yet, it wasn't for all these horrific deeds that he ended up behind bars. He had been able to beat the rap for these crimes. No. What 11 years in prison. He was also forced to pay fines and court costs. This ended Capone's career as a mobster. In this video activity, you will act as government agents from the same era, working to nail a local mob boss named Ricardo Numbers Pizzullo. As special agents, you'll research tax laws, hear from informants inside Numbers Pizzullo's inner circle, and try to help us rid our good city of this criminal. It's time to grab research files and start the investigation. Good luck.
All right, so I'm hopefully I'm sorry if my screen froze at all. Technical difficulties. Hopefully it didn't screen freeze too much long for you guys. But you guys can see we're trying to build that kind of like game of, hey, you got to catch this criminal now that is trying to evade tax evasion or trying to evade taxes. And so we give them this overview of what the situation is. We're going to have students then watch more videos.
Without taxes, there would be no public institutions, such as the legislature, court.
But then they're going to also read about this from the text. This can be, and these are exactly what our textbook is. You see the pages that would be in our printed text, but you can see that we have our reading. We have supports. I got to give a shout out to our AI level reading that we have that can help with different grade levels if you need to adjust it. We have text to speech. Our program, like Hannah mentioned, translates almost completely into Spanish. But for those students that have other home languages, with our readings, we can translate those too. So right now I have this in Cantonese. So I've highlighted what I wanted and I can hit play. And it's
大部分人都
okay.
知道稅係乜嘢，強制向政府交稅。
So it was making me look bad. I thought it was going to make me look bad for a second, but you can see that it will have the screen of whatever you highlight, but then it will also do text to speech in that language as well. So these are just some quick ways that you can support students. Haitian Creole. Oh, that's a good one. Let's see. I haven't been asked for that one yet. Oh, oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. There's not an actual text to speech on it yet, but at least there is we do have that there as well. So I think we have Dari and Pasto. I'm pretty sure we have those as well. I want you guys. I would love to just go through them all, but there's more I want to show you. But when you get a chance, go into your accounts and play with this because you guys should see those in there as well. So throughout this video activity, they're going to continue to watch different things. They're going to play games, and this is actually going to be all graded automatically as well. And they're going to continue to try to catch this person by learning about taxes. So this is some, what I said, of some cool ways that we try at TCI to do taxes as well. So another lesson that we have, let me go back to my thing, or some other ways that we actually gamify, is that we have a gamification toolkit. And you can find this in our resources, but when it talks about ways to try to create ideas on how to kind of create games or have some team building games or some content related games, these are some ideas that you can also use. So you can actually scan this code to get this toolkit, or you can also go into the resource page and also get it from there as
Okay, it looks like Michael might have just trying to refresh here, so we'll give him a quick minute to try to log back in and see if we can get that squared away. If not, we will be able to move on to our next option. So it looks like he's going to be coming on here shortly.
okay. Can you guys hear me? Oops.
Yes, we can.
Okay, sorry about that, everybody. I apologize. My internet, of course, decides that, hey, let's go ahead and act up in the middle of a session. You guys know the vibes. I mean, right? We're teachers. You guys know how this happens at different times. So, once again, my apologies to that. I am completely embarrassed, but hopefully you guys got to hang out with Sam and Hannah a little bit in between time. So, so what I was mentioning, that you can also use gamification in a way to like do vocabulary. So in chat, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a, oh, Hannah's already added, oh, she added the toolkit. I'm going to actually add this chat, this puzzles and cipher for you guys. And I want you guys to actually guess this word using some of the different things. So we're going to use the number substitution cipher, the pig pen cipher, and we're going to also use the at bash cipher. So those are the three that I'm going to have you guys take a look at, and let's see if you guys can guess this word. So once again, making these symbols and taking these words and playing games with them for vocabulary is some cool things that you guys can do. But in chat, what's the word? Can anybody guess the actual word that I have there using those three different ciphers? Nobody yet. Oh, there we go. There we go. Sun. Sun is the word. Yes. Sun is the word. So once again, you can do these things like that and make vocabulary kind of fun and engaging as well. So, so just a reminder, games don't got to be completed to work. I mean, complicated to work. They can absolutely be simple, still fun, and get to the point as well. So I want to play another game with you guys, and this one is one of my favorites. This is what we call the red dot game. And what's cool about this game here is that this game, what you can do is that it's really based off of um, the hysteria of the McCarthyism and communism in the 1950s. And it's a pretty cool game. It's a really cool way for it to for you guys to kind of see. I'm going to go ahead and play this game for you guys right now. There it is. Oops. My apologies. Uh-oh. Let me go ahead and stop this real quick. Yes. Oops. Sorry, everybody. My internet threw me off here a little bit. Let me go ahead and start this right over again. All right, share sound is on, and I am back. Here we go.
Be given a slip of paper. Some of these slips of paper have red dots on them. Secretly check to see if yours does. Don't tell anyone what you've got. You now have 7 minutes to form groups of at least 2 people. Ask others if they are dots or non-dots. Do not show your paper. Non-dots. If you suspect someone is a dot, don't let them join your group. Report your suspicion to the teacher. Dots. Deny that you are a dot. Try to draw suspicion away from yourself and sneak your way into a group. Make sure you are the only dot in the group. When time runs out, the smallest group will be selected to show their papers first. If no one is a dot, they are the current winners. Yay! Continue to the next largest group and so on until all groups have shown their papers. The largest group with no dots wins. All dots who are the only dot in their group also win. Good luck.
So this game is one of my all-time favorite games, and I'm going to tell you why. Because this game will give students that have like social wealth so much control of the classroom. And oftentimes, those kids aren't the ones that love school, but people love them. I've seen so much fun. But what's funny about it is that you see a kid that plays this game, they'll start connecting with this game to McCarthyism, and they'll be able to connect how they play this game into a topic that typically is not always the interest of students. So once again, we're just trying to have these fun games and interact them with students and in ways that they can connect to the curriculum. So I have one more game that I actually would like for you guys to play, and that is for science. And so this game here is for modeling bird. It's going to be for modeling bird hunting for moths, and we're going to simulate how birds hunt moths. And once again, is connecting the content to students, the animals being camouflaged and how they survive in society. And each station is going to be a different environment and what type of moth survives in that environment. And I have my good buddy Don here. He's going to describe this game to you guys.
All games have rules. In our game today, each of you will have an opportunity to play the role of a bird hunting moths. While the bird has his or her eyes closed, the rest of you will scatter all of the moths onto the black paper environment. There should be a total of 36 moths on the paper, 12 of each color. When your teacher says go, birds will uncover their eyes, squat down, and grab a moth from the black environment and place it into the container. You'll repeat this process as many times as possible to gather as many moths as you can in a 15-second time period.
So you guys can see how this will now become like this opportunity for kids to get their energy out, play around, but then they're also talking about how each color of moths is going to be easier to be caught within their own environments. So we're going to have the students analyze this after. Which type of moth was likely to be caught at each station? Why do you think this pattern happened? Does one round give you enough evidence? So every time they're going to go through that, their students are collecting information, how many moths they caught, what color they caught, why they caught those things. And it's just a really cool way to really have students engage into a science activity and talk about how animals survive in environments with a game here. So questions. Um, yeah, yes, this is an opportunity now. I want to kind of give you guys to ask questions if you guys want to see where actually some of these things are. But yes, Jennifer, it's not all tech. We do have some tech stuff with the video activities, and we have some stuff with obviously the lesson games. But really, gamification for us is just teaching through games. Any other questions you guys have? I know that Sam and Hannah have been knocking these questions out in the chat, so you guys probably are getting a lot of your questions already answered. Where do you find this in the curriculum? All right, good question. Let me go ahead and show you where these games can be found. So I'm in a econ program, but I want you guys to know that all TCR programs, the structure of the program looks the same. So you can find these in any of our programs, the same place. So where you're going to find this, I'm going to start from our homepage. You're going to go to the purple bar on the left, and you're going to go to Lesson Overview. And in Lesson Overview, you are going to go ahead and find the video activities. And that is it's going to be right next to our classroom activities. If you scroll down, you can also find some of the lesson games as well. Now, the games that I described, like tug of war, the bird hunting game, the red dot game, those games are classroom activities. So those games are the hands-on that are built in within our hands-on activities. So hopefully that answers your questions. The online games for students. Oh, Sam's got that. Yeah, they absolutely says your score. And if your grade book is connected to your school grade book, it can go right into one and into the other. Absolutely. Yeah, so you can absolutely modify this. I know that the fifth grade tug of war can be taught in eighth grade as well. In eighth grade, we actually have a game that's kind of similar. We call it Capture the Flag. That also addresses the American Revolution as well. Any other questions you guys have? Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my slideshow here. Just so you guys know, there's support every step of the way. Is the Otanya, is the video activity an add-on? No, it is It's in all of our secondary programs, whether it's middle school or high school. And like I said, there's something that if they're coming for our fourth edition K-5. Right now, middle school, we have them for all of every single lesson. High school, we're developing them for every lesson too currently. But eventually, all our programs will have the video activities. We do have all the lesson games currently. If you have an older version, say like second edition, are those still available? Yes, they should be in your second editions. Yes, absolutely. If they are not, make sure that you reach out to us, and we should make sure that you get those available. But they should be for all our programs. One of the things that happened with the video activities, they came out of like the idea of COVID when trying to find ways to engage students for COVID, but then we learned kind of how to develop it a little bit more just for uh just classroom teach learning period. So once again, you guys, we're here to support you. There's professional development that happens that you can look at within our program. You can do it at your own pace, asynchronously. If you like professional development for your campuses, have your coordinators reach out to us, and we can always come in person. We have so many product updates that are happening this summer. There's some cool stuff. You might actually go into some of those sections a little bit later. But we have some cool stuff with teacher pace mode and the AI leveling and a bunch of new tools. We have a Facebook group that if you want to like learn how teachers are taking these activities and these games, and they're like, I mean, I've seen teachers take these things and become like create so much more from it. They're sharing these things in our Facebook group, so they're really good to see. And then if you do follow us on our socials, it's a great place for you to actually just follow us and see some of our updates. And I saw a hand was raised. Um, Judith, did you have a question? Oh, thank you. Okay. So that might have had a question for us. But yeah, you guys, I'm hopefully you guys are feeling good about gamification. I know that it's almost time for you guys to go on to your next period and your final period. But thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you all. I apologize for technical difficulties. I hope that you guys are super excited about using some of these things. Sam, thank you for having the link to our next session. And I want you guys to have a wonderful, wonderful day. And hope to see you guys around. And those of you that are in the Northern California, Oregon, Washington area, if you need anything, please reach out. Thank you all. Hannah, Sam, oh my gosh, thank you guys so much. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for covering during my outage. You guys are so awesome. Thanks, everybody.